What's going on, everyone? Winter 2025 anime is here. It's upon us. And today, my friends, we're jumping into the first new anime of winter 2025. This one is, well, it has a really long name, but this one is called Bogus Skill. So Bogus Skill Fruitmaster is the first new anime of winter 2025. And this is my favorite time of the season because I get to come here and tell you guys as we kind of watch the first episodes, should we watch it? Is this worth our time? Well, we're going to come across a lot of anime just like this. If you guys didn't know, I did 10 anime that could have potential. Not that you have to watch, not that are like, these are for sure fire ones, but just 10 anime that have that hidden gem potential. They might be lower budget, but they might have something special for us to watch in the winter. If you guys haven't checked out that video, I'm putting it up on screen right now. So go do me a favor, check out that video that has the 10 potential anime that could be really good this winter season. And Bogus Skill Fruitmaster was one of them. So what do we think after watching episode 1? So here's my real thoughts. This is definitely going to be one of those anime that definitely skews more towards the budget realm of anime. This is going to skew more towards the junk food anime, which is basically, in the realm of a few years ago, I saw that a lot of folks, a lot of people on anime YouTube, I guess you could call it, would make videos calling like, hey, these are the trash picks. These are the garbage anime of the season. And I always kind of hated that because I don't think any of these really trash. I just think there's lower budget, and there's adaptations of what you would call like web novels or webtoons, like basically like adaptations of anime or adaptations of stories that were just more lighthearted, light breezy. So I've always talked about these as like junk food anime. Basically, it tastes good, but it's not like your steak. It's not like your good meal. It's just like, your junk food, right? So I think that's where Bogus Skill fits. I think it's that budget anime where it's going to be very much like a lot of other anime that we've got in the past before. I think last season, we got a return of Ari Ferretta and we got a return of Spirit Chronicles. And those are two of my favorite anime of all time, but they would fit in that junk food category where they're, they're not masterpieces, but they're very budget, but they can be very good. So what do we actually think? So Bogus Skill Fruitmaster, I really think that you don't watch it this season. Now I'm not saying you don't watch it ever, but I don't think we watch it this season. I don't think we dedicate each week and we carve out a piece of our time each week to watch this show. I think this is one of those shows that you just let stack up. And I think this one is, let me just double check. I think this one's scheduled for 12 episodes this season. Let me just double check with you guys. It looks like Live Chart doesn't have exactly how many episodes, but we're going to assume it's going to be scheduled for 11, 12, or maybe 13 episodes this season. And I think this is one of those ones, a perfect candidate for one that we let stack up and we just kind of let all 11, 12, 13 episodes stack up. And then at the end of the season, kind of as it's winding down, you watch all of them on a weekend, on a Saturday, a Sunday, a day off of work, a day off of school. And I think you just watch it there because I think that there's a lot of good here, right? Like when I think about the show, when our main character Light was getting his skill, right? And he's all hyped up. He's like, oh, I'm going to be the best adventurer. I'll be the best hero ever. We know immediately like, you wanted too much, buddy. You wanted too much, broski. And because of that, he obviously doesn't get it. And he gets warned, like, you don't eat 2 skill fruits. You eat 2 skill fruits, you go die. And he's like, oh no. And he finally, his friend goes and I think her name's Lena or Lena. She goes and she gets the sword saint. So she's like the holy sword saint. And they're like, oh, one of you is only born every decade or something. And then he goes, he's like, oh, it's my turn. I'm gonna be like the sword genius, or I'm gonna be like the and he gets the fruit master skill. And the nun, the church lady was like, oh, I've never seen a skill so not suited for combat. She's like, oh, you're gonna be able to grow lots of harvest, enjoy the harvest. And he's like, no. And it was just a really funny moment. So that was like the funniest moment of the show. And then it kind of like skipped a few months, and they had him, harvesting some fruit, and then apparently he got some. The village chief gave him some little girl, and she was helping him with his stuff. And one day she decides to make some soup with the skill fruits that he has marked with death and stuff. And she's like, "Oh, I didn't know." And he eats it, and he's like, "Oh no, my time is done. Oh no, I'm dying." And he doesn't die. He gets a second skill called the Sword God skill. And the little girl gets a skill, like an appraisal skill, but like a really OP appraisal skill. She's able to see his skills, what they do, what they don't do, their weaknesses. She's able to see weaknesses and strengths in monsters. So very, very useful skill. So she's going to be an amazing partner for him as he now finally goes and goes and takes on his first adventure stuff. And finally tries to live out his dream and stuff. And he does that. They go and they take their they register at the Adventure Guild. He takes on the slime. Some idiot adventurers try like get him caught up with an ogre, and he takes on the ogre and he turns that in. And then he finally at the end of the episode meets his friend Lena again, and she's like, "Who are you? I don't know anybody like you." But then at the end of the episode, we see a preview for next week where apparently she's facing abuse and stuff, so she's just BSing because she doesn't want to get her bro in trouble, and they're obviously in love with each other. But it's one of those things to where he's like, "Oh, if I'm not worthy of you, I can't have you," kind of thing. And she was like, "Oh, we can grow fruit. We can grow fruit together." And the church was like, "Nah, you can't." And they steal her away. You go to the church. So, anyways. Overall, I don't think this was bad. I think this was a pretty good episode 1. And I think it was a pretty good showing of what the show's going to be. Lighthearted, fun, some little bit of story, with this Lena girl. He's probably going to have to save her from her S-rank party. It's going to have some lighthearted, funny, comedic moments, but it's going to have moments of just kind of boringness and you're just kind of watching nothing happen. But at the same time, there is stuff happening. Unfortunately, there was a big time skip. I would have liked to see him struggle more and be a farmer for a little while longer before he discovers he can eat the second fruit or third fruit or whatever. So I would have liked to see him struggle for a little longer. The fact is we only saw him struggle for like 5 minutes, and then he ate a skill fruit, and then he got the Sword God skill. And obviously, because of his Fruitmaster skill, he can continue to absorb more skills. So that's going to be his thing, right? Going forward. So that's going to be, fun as well. But I don't think this is bad. And I think if you decide to watch it, it's totally okay. I just think that this is a really good candidate for one that you just kind of put in your back pocket. And then when you're bored, you have a lot of time to spare. I think this is one that you binge watch the whole thing as opposed to waiting weekly for like a C tier anime. I just don't think this is a good one for us to cover every single week. And those are my thoughts. Again, if you maybe are familiar with the light novel or manga, whatever this is adapted from, you can tell me I'm wrong in the comments. But in my opinion, should you watch it? I think no. I don't think you should not watch it ever. I just don't think that we should be waiting week by week by week to watch each of the episodes. I think this is one that we just watch holistically, and that's what I'm planning to do. All right, my friends, this has been my video on Bogus Skill Fruitmaster. Should you watch it? I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you guys so much, and welcome to Winter Season 2025, and I'll see you on the next video as more anime continues to come out. All right, my friends, peace out.